Hello, I have this Seaway water dispenser. The problem is that this hot water area is not working, and the hot water indicator is not showing anything at all. So when you turn on the dispenser, it doesn't show anything. The first thing we want to do is turn to the back of the dispenser, and we're going to remove the screws holding the evaporator. So you can see this black metal that looks like a net is called the evaporator. So we'll remove the screws that is holding them. We are not going to remove the evaporator completely because it's welded to the compressor, and we don't want to the freon gas inside the compressor to leak. So I'll gently remove this evaporator. It is done already. And what we're going to be looking at is that thermal sensor. There's a thermal sensor inside. We'll start removing this evaporator. Inside of this evaporator, there is a thermal sensor but first you have to remove this. And you have to be very careful when removing this evaporator. Sometimes it can be hot, especially when you just turn off the dispenser immediately. So here is the area that we're going to be looking at. This is the thermal sensor. That is what controls when this is it. I've loosed it out already. This is what controls when the dispenser turns on the water heater for it to heat your hot water, and when it turns it off. So once it gets to a particular degree, the water dispenser, this thermal sensor will turn off the hot water area, so that the hot water doesn't overboil. But the problem with this is that over time this sensor stops working, and once it stops working, it won't be able to turn on your water heater again. But most of the time, the problem is not actually from the sensor going bad, it's just resetting the sensor. But I'm going to treat this as if the sensor is bad, because sometimes the sensor can go bad. Right, so I'm going to get my multimeter and test for continuity between them. So when I turn the sensor on and turn it off, I am going to check for continuity and see if there is a difference. If there is no difference when I turn the sensor on and when I turn it off, then the thermal sensor is bad. So this one is fine. The thermal sensor is fine because once I turn it on, you can see that there is no continuity. Once I turn it off, continuity comes back again. So this sensor is okay. I'm going to replace it. What I will just do is to reset it. But for you, the first thing you want to do before removing this sensor out is to get a really long screwdriver and use it to compress that inner button. There is a button in between the two metal legs of this sensor. You can see that black plastic in the middle of the two metal legs. So that is where you are going to compress. Use your screwdriver to press it in. You can see it. Use your screwdriver to press that middle button in. That is going to reset it, because sometimes it can just shut it down if it notices something that could damage the hot water area. So what you do is to get your long screwdriver and press this middle button. Press the middle button, and instead of removing it completely or removing even the evaporator, get a really long screwdriver that can reach this area and press that black middle button, and the problem will be solved. So this one is, you can see that is the second thermal sensor there. So that controls the cold. I think this controls the hot area. So here I'm going to test for continuity of this particular one, assuming yours is bad. After pressing the button in the middle, the problem wasn't solved. This is what you're going to do. You're going to remove the thermal sensor this way, and you're going to put a probe between the metal legs on the right and the one on the left, and then test for continuity. If there's no continuity between them, now put the metal probe on the two legs again and test the continuity while you press the middle button down. So you press the middle button down and you test for continuity. There is supposed to be a difference. Okay. If there is no difference at all, even after pressing the middle button in, then there is a problem with the thermal sensor. All you need to do is to get another thermal sensor. And if you can't get your thermal sensor in your locality, you can check the link in my description. There's a link in the description that directs you to where you can order and get another thermal sensor for your dispenser. Now that I have been able to fix the issue, I'm going to replace the thermal sensor back to its position, since this one is still fine. The problem with this is just that it needs to be reset, and I've reset the thermal sensor by pressing the button in the middle. Again, you might want to do the same thing I did before removing even the evaporator at the back, or removing the thermal sensor completely, especially if you're a newbie in repairs like this and you don't really have broad knowledge of dispensers like this. Get a really long screwdriver like what I'm holding here and press the middle button of the thermal sensor. The thermal sensor is the one that is above. Okay, just press it in, and that is going to reset the thermal sensor. It will continue working the way it has been working before. In case you haven't done already, like and subscribe to the channel. We have great videos on how to fix all kinds of office equipment, from laptops to printers and dispensers, CCTV cameras, PABS intercom, scanners, and anything that has to do with office equipment. So I will replace the screws holding the thermal sensor back to its position. So this is working the way it ought to. Thank you for watching. I'll see you some other time. Remember to like and subscribe.